Good evening. Welcome to episode 4 of the Midweek Mixup podcast. You're live once again from the very hot, wherever you are. It seems like it's just absolutely killing everybody today. We have sweating here,
Yeah.
whether it be in Broyr's attic or the sunny mountains of Scotland, or toasting it up in Den Haag.
Yeah.
Woo. Welcome. So, first time guest this week, we have Broyr. How are you doing today?
Doing well. A bit hot up here in the attic, as you said. Living here in Belgium, but Jesus, the temperature is insane. It's more than 30 degrees, and in the attic it's even higher. So, got the windows open and hoping for a bit of a cool breeze coming in this evening.
Yeah, toasty, extremely toasty.
Yeah.
Broyr, first and foremost, buddy, can you just let people know where it is that they can find you, where it is that you've been up to?
Of course. I'll do a quick introduction of myself. I'm 34 years old. I live in Belgium. You can find me on all the social medias under the name Broyr. In Twitter, it's Broyr Xbox, since the name Broyr was already taken. But that's my gamer tag on the other platforms. I mostly play on my Xbox, and recently I'm also playing on the Switch, since I've got a son and he's also getting into gaming. And if you got a son, you gotta have multiple platforms. So the Switch is absolutely up there. Playing some really cool family stuff up there on the Switch as well. And all I do is gaming with friends. I barely game alone. It's always up in a party with some friends from around here and far away. So that's a bit me.
Happy days. So your preferred platform then is that Xbox?
It's gonna be Xbox. Yeah. Absolutely.
Again, I always find, and probably exactly what you said there, you're always gaming with a party of people. So I'm guessing Xbox for you is the best social platform on that front.
Yeah, it started when I was a kid. I did all the platforms. So I started on PlayStation. I've been playing a lot of GoldenEye on the Nintendo in the early days. GTA on the PC, World of Warcraft on the PC for way too many hours. But today it's the last 6 years, I guess. It's been purely Xbox only, with a steady group. And with that group also going to Gamescom and Xbox X019 FanFest, etc. So Xbox is the platform for me to game on as a social platform.
Happy days. A tough one, and it might be hard. It's always a hard one for people to kind of boil down into this. But what is your favorite gaming franchise?
It's a difficult one. It's Halo all the way, of course, for me. I'm a big Halo fan. And no matter what the people say about Halo 5, I loved it. The campaign, but especially, of course, the multiplayer. It was mind-blowing. It was my reintroduction on the Xbox platform. And ever since, I've been playing Halo until today. I still play some Halo once in a while. So Halo is my absolute biggest franchise I'm following.
Yeah. And is that your favorite all-time franchise, Halo? Or?
Yeah, I guess it is. It is. I've had some franchises as well, some other stuff, but they're all from this gen, I think. So from the previous things, from the previous areas, I haven't been an active gamer. I've always been an active gamer, but not so into the franchises, etc. So I've always been playing multiplayer, and Halo is far out the best multiplayer there as well. So
sweet, okay. And I guess, what have you been playing recently then? Of course, I can't imagine it's just been Halo 5 multiplayer for.
No, if you look at the games that we are playing right now, it's always the shooter area. So it's been a bit of Halo, PUBG. We've played a lot of PUBG. So I know exactly what Patjeuh is talking about when he's saying PUBG. It's an awesome feeling. I've been playing a lot of Apex as well. The gameplay is unparalleled. It's amazing. It's fast paced. But unfortunately, not all of my friends are into Apex. They're more into the realistic scene. Except for the game that we are playing a lot right now, and that's Cuisine Royale. I don't know if you know the game.
Oh yeah.
That game is amazing. I love it. It's such a cool game. It's a combination of PUBG and mind-blowing, crazy shit like what is it? Pants and golden pants, zombies, and it's crazy. It's a cool game. Definitely something I would recommend playing.
Yeah, I did look at it. I think I've got it installed actually. I just haven't played it yet.
Well,
it's
let's
really fun.
Some time and let's do a game. It's really cool. If you like PUBG, this is definitely something that you like.
Happy days. Well, you get along well with Patjeuh anyway with PUBG.
Exactly.
PUBG King.
Yep.
But looking at what he's doing, that's a whole nother league.
Yeah, he plays that quite a bit, doesn't he? Me and Shom would be absolutely terrible playing with Patjeuh, to be fair.
I think or playing PUBG, let alone anybody else.
I think I have like 2,000 hours right now in the game, something like that.
Yeah, a lot of time.
Yeah.
I think I've got maybe a few hundred. I don't think thousands yet.
I think I'm around 200 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was a lot already.
Patjeuh plays PUBG for breakfast, don't you, Patjeuh?
Yeah, sometimes.
Before breakfast, yeah.
Last but not least, then, Broyr, what's the game or games you're looking forward to most? Now, obviously, we've kind of touched before the stream there. Of course, unfortunately, Halo can't be with us, and we will be discussing that today. But what's any other game, of course, that's coming out in the next few months that you're looking forward to the most?
Well, actually, I'm really into the multiplayer stuff. I don't play a lot of single player games since I don't have the time for it. I got 2 kids, and I mostly play on Tuesday evenings with my friends. And Halo Infinite was my go-to game for when the Xbox Series X was coming out. But now I think we've set our mind on Crossfire X.
Yes.
And hoping that that will be the game that we will be going into. And of course, all the games that we play today, like Apex and PUBG, even in the next gen, they will still be the games that we will be playing. So it's just multiplayer that we are into. So yeah.
Sweet. Have you had a chance to play Rogue Company yet?
Which one?
Rogue Company.
No, I've got it installed, but I haven't been able to play it yet.
Yeah, you definitely need to play that. 100%. 100%. It's well worth it, isn't it, Shom?
Yeah, it's good if you have friends. If you don't, then it can be
it's a bit
frustrating.
Yeah, it can be a bit strange. And a pain in the butt.
I only play with friends, so that's
that's all right then. Yeah, that's all right. We'll have to have a game then, because that's a good shooter. It's just a good 4v4. You can either play essentially what is kind of capture the objective, so A, B, C, D, hold the objectives, or protect against bomb defeat. Effectively stop bomb.
Call of Duty Search and Destroy.
Yeah.
Easiest way to describe it.
Sounds good.
One life, get the bomb or defend the bomb site. That's it.
Yeah. So next, our regular panel members. Unfortunately, of course, this week we could not be with Erwin. He's had to just take a break from this week, but we still got the very hot Patjeuh sitting in his Well, was without a shirt not too long ago. But has now put his Den Haag football top on. But yeah, a very hot Den Haag. How are you this week?
Yeah, like everybody is. It's really hot here. Had some days that I went to the beach, so it was pretty good. I'm not a big fan of the beach and going into the water, but this time it felt good. So, and yeah, man, busy work as well. Yeah. So, yeah, long days.
Long
and yeah, man, that's about it.
It feels even longer when you're sweating your balls off, though, isn't it?
No, but you know, the best thing is about my work is like inside is like 14, maybe 15 degrees. So you know that's pretty good. But the only bad thing is when you walk outside, seriously, you're just sweating like in 1 minute. That's crazy.
It's walking into an oven.
Yeah, exactly, like that. So man, yeah. But I've been all good this week, so yeah, man.
Sweet, happy days. What you been up to? What you been playing?
Well, earlier this week, Shom gave me a code for a Rogue Company.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been playing that lately, man. And I must say that the game is really good. So yeah,
it's good.
I'm enjoying it.
Good.
Yeah,
feels good, doesn't it? Like actually shooting, it feels like you're actually being able to. You can't like. It doesn't seem to me that you can. Like sometimes in PUBG, you'll shoot somebody in the head 5 times and it feels like nothing's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
the bullet registers so well, and it's still technically a kind of a beta game. It's not fully released, so I think they've got down the bullet, like the kind of damage down to a T. So yeah, it feels really good. What else are you playing?
Of course, I've been playing PUBG as well.
Yeah,
been playing some Formula 1 because I'm a big fan of the Formula 1 as well.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
Sweet.
For this week, so.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play Formula 1 yet, to be fair. That the 2019 that's been put onto Game Pass, is that right?
Yeah, 2019, yeah.
Sweet. I'll have to give that a try. Is it good? How is that compared to a Forza? Quick?
For me, Formula 1 plays better.
Yeah.
it feels better, so yeah.
Yeah, because the cars can handle far better than your average race car.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy days. Shomberlon, our final panel member for today. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Like everybody, I'm sweating my nuts off, but
standard.
It's all good, yeah. But then again, you've been up a few weeks when it gets cold, be like, I wish it was warm again.
Yeah.
It's never good. Yeah, it's never good.
Yeah. No, we always complain about something. If it's too cold, we want it to be hot. If it's too hot, we want it to be cold. Can't win.
Yeah.
So what you been up to then, Sean?
Other than work, I've been playing. Oh, what's it called now? I can never remember the name of it. Hyperscape.
Oh yes, yeah.
I'm not a big fan, to be honest with you.
I kind of mentioned that one, didn't I? And I said, "Oh, we're going to jump on this." Automatically, you were like, "No."
Well, I played it yesterday. I gave it a couple of games. I was like, I'm not feeling it. There's just something about it that's just irritating me. So I thought I'll give it another go. But I did it solo. Solos is better than playing with a squad. Right. You've got 100 people in there, and I think the map just is a bit too small because I think they want quick games rather than PUBG where you can be 25 minutes, half hour.
Depending on which map you jump into.
Yeah. Well, you can go quite a while without seeing anybody. In this, it's like you open fire and you've got 2 or 3 teams trying to jump you already. Whereas solo, it's a little bit better, but the time to kill is just too long. It's annoyingly too long. And there's just some other stuff. It feels a little bit Fortnite-y without the building.
Right, okay.
And then there's just double jumping, halo jumping everywhere every time you're trying to shoot everybody. So I'm not a big fan of that.
It's a bit of a strange one in a battle royale.
You'll love it.
Looks like it's for me.
Yep.
Yeah. So the weapons need balancing. There's some weapons. It's like there's 3 weapons that are really worth picking up. The rest, if you come up against one of the super weapons, then you don't stand a chance really. So I've been giving that a good go. I don't mind playing the single player if I fancy doing a battle royale on my own, but with other people I wouldn't do it. What else have I been playing? Apex Legends. I got to my max rank in the season pass in Apex the other day, and for the first time keeping above the +1 KD still, which is a first for me. I'm quite happy with that. Pro company, as we've discussed. And then I've been playing a bit of single player with Darksiders 3 and Darksiders Genesis.
Yes, I've just downloaded that.
Yeah, I've downloaded it as well.
The Genesis.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. I'm a big fan of the Darksiders franchise anyway, so I thought it was going to be, unless it was like awful, but it's a little bit different because it's almost like a twin stick shooter.
All right, okay.
But it's fun even on your own. I've been waiting for my mate to play because he's a massive Darksiders fan as well, so I've been waiting to co-op with him. But I did the first chapter. It's good. It's a good game.
So I'm looking forward to Diablo as well. That's my kind of thing. So that's why I seen this Darksiders Genesis and I thought, actually, that looks very Diablo-esque, but maybe it's a little more twin stick.
Yeah. I'm quite happy because it was on sale about 2 weeks ago, and I was so tempted to buy it.
And then it's Game Pass.
Yeah.
That's always the thing. Usually in the past, before Game Pass, it was a case of you'd buy a game at full price, and then there was a sale the next day, and it happened to have the game in that you've just bought. Never mind. Right, we shall jump into our first topics of today. So, first and foremost, I think I'll cover off the one that came about very late, kind of last night, and had to very rush to get a video out to kind of cover it quickly. But the Halo Infinite delay, I think semi-expected and semi-hoped for in some circumstances, but nonetheless, it's obviously disappointing to not have Halo when we launch a console like we have every generation. Broyr, what are your thoughts on the delay? How do you look at it?
Most unfortunate, of course. I would love to see it launch together with the Xbox Series X, but as you saw how the reveal went and how the responses were, I think everyone who is a bit of a fan for Halo and loves the whole franchise, but would say, okay, it's good that it will be delayed. Give it the proper time that it needs to launch. Yeah. With all the bezels, how do you say it? All the wheels and bezels. No, it needs to be top notch. That's the most important thing. Yeah, they need to ensure that if they launch it, they show what the power of the Xbox Series X could be. And if they would launch it and ray tracing, for example, wouldn't be applicable or wouldn't be implemented, it would be dead on arrival. Yeah. Even though the gameplay would be stunning and most people would accept it as a Halo fan, but all the rest of the media they would burn the whole game, and not only the game, it would be such a bad reputation for Xbox as well. So I think it was a very hard decision for them to make, but in my eyes, it's the best decision they could have made. So yeah, I don't mind waiting another 3, 6, or even 9 months if that's the time what it takes to polish the game and take it up the level that it should be.
Yeah, I think you made a good point there. To be honest, it's not so much the Halo fans themselves that would have been disappointed in kind of the graphics and things, because Halo fans would have just played it anyway because they enjoy the gameplay. It's mainly the new people that they've delayed this for. It's people getting into the franchise for the first time that are playing Halo Infinite are expecting to be blown away by the graphics and not just the gameplay. These are people that might not have played the game before.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
they're thinking of a wider audience for this one, especially with it launching simultaneously on both PC and console for the first time.
Yeah,
it's a bigger thing they have to correct.
Halo is almost 20 years old.
Yeah.
A lot of players that are going to be playing Halo now will be playing Halo for the first time. I think a lot of new kids on the block, they didn't play the Master Chief Collection. They're gonna play Halo for the first time on perhaps the Xbox Series X. And if they're gonna launch it, and if the new Halo franchise that they're gonna set up is below expectations, I don't think they will. They'll have the benefit that they want of the whole new setup that they want to bring with the Halo franchise.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Shom, what's your thoughts on this, buddy?
Similar, the same, about the same. I think it needed to be done, but again, it's a bad PR regardless of what ever happened, because you always got those that I'm not buying it because it looks crap, and now I'm not buying it because it's been delayed. That kind of it's a lose-lose. So, but going forward, what I want to see is, and it needs to be at least visually comparable with 5, because I think 5's a really good-looking game. And I'm one of the few that enjoyed it. I didn't like not being as Chief for most of it, but gameplay-wise, I thought it was okay. I thought it was a decent campaign. So I'd at least expect that the visual fidelity, and maybe with all the bells and whistles added for the Series X version. The Xbox One version, I think, should be the same as 5 minimum.
Bells and whistles. That was what I was searching for.
That's the one. Bells and whistles.
Oh, the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, it's their pillar franchise, and I know the whole Craig thing is a joke, and it's funny. You don't really want to be having that as one of your pillar franchises. I mean, can you imagine like Uncharted coming out and it looking like a PlayStation 3 game or a PlayStation, it wouldn't. I mean, just look at the mockery from Horizon Zero Dawn on PC at the moment with some of the visual glitches. You just don't want it. It's funny for us to laugh at.
It's the fact that they've had to put statement after statement out, like every day, just saying, we're working on it. We know, and we're sorry, but we're working on it.
Yeah, and I can't remember. Oh, no, I do remember who said. Who's the? We're gonna have him as a guest. It's really bad. I can't remember his name. Scouser. Chris Gronell. He said that it's obviously they were looking at delaying it. This isn't suddenly we better delay it. This has been in the works. So they should have said, right, this it's going to be delayed. It's not going to make a thing, but this is a work in progress.
But even if you go back, I remember the interview with Phil Spencer months ago when he discussed that about Halo Infinite. He said, obviously it's difficult and there is a potential that Halo Infinite could be delayed. He said, but we'd never delay the console because of Halo Infinite.
Well, he didn't exactly say Halo, but he said any big game, didn't he? He was very, and I think he must have known he was putting it out there. There could be a delay, rather than going, no, it's shipping no matter what. He's kind of readying the waters or whatever the saying is. He's steadying the boat a bit for criticism. Then he can say, well, I said this a couple of months ago that this would happen. This potentially could happen, and we're prepared to do that. So, but I've seen a couple of people, and I agree with them. I think it was Paris Lilly. He was saying it should be a year. About a year. Yeah, and it should make it Series X only. Yeah.
To be fair, I mean, really, I think that should be the case as well. I think going into next gen, I think maybe it's One X and Series X only. The One X still has a little bit more power to be able to hold up with a lot of the things.
Is it really holding the development back? I don't know. It's with the statement that Phil Spencer said. Development for gaming on PC is the same. You develop for the highest possible outcome, and you scale down for the other systems where it's possible. And there's so much variety on PC why should it be a problem if other systems like the standard Xbox One that is released 6 years ago, if it's still able to play the game, let people play the game on the old console, but it won't have ray tracing, it won't have all the bells and whistles. But that's something that I think I really like the statement that they're putting out there is play on the device that you want. Don't put it on just the Xbox Series X.
I think what
we're gonna switch this one.
Patjeuh, what are your thoughts on it, buddy?
Well, I didn't expect that it was getting delayed. I thought it will come out with the Series X on day one.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, it's I'm not a big Halo fan. I've played it before, but it's not the type of game I really like. Definitely gonna try Infinite, that's for sure, because one day I need to play it, just because I hear a lot of people talking really positive about the game. So and
you'd like the multiplayer. If anything, you'd really like the multiplayer.
Yeah,
if you've never played the multiplayer before, that's it's fast paced, plenty of weapons, plenty of vehicles, there's lots to the maps are big, there's a lot of variety, a lot of different game modes. And Forge, obviously with Forge in there, people are creating maps. So there's always new maps anyway for you to play.
Big team battles, I like them.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool that they make their own maps. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Forge, it's one of the biggest. If you have a look at the Forge community, it's absolutely massive, and in Halo Infinite they've included that as well. So it's going to, again, creators can go in and create maps from top to bottom and game modes and game types and things like that. So there's no shortage of things to do in multiplayer.
Yeah.
If you want to do big team battles, or if you want to do kind of everybody versus hordes of AI enemies and things like that progressively get harder, and you can do that. Literally anything.
Okay. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's worth.
So
worth
it's definitely for sure. I'm gonna take a look. Especially, I'm gonna try this weekend. So
yeah, even like I say, even if you're not a fan of the single player element, you'll enjoy. You'll have some good fun on the multiplayer. I've got no doubt about that.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. But yeah, like I said, I didn't expect the delay. So no.
Yeah. Did you think they just patched it in after launch, like a kind of patch, or kind of make it look better as much as they could up until the game was released, and then?
Yeah, of course. Like
patching other things.
Yeah, the game needs to be, when the game launches, it needs to be perfect. It cannot be like 100%. That's every game has that, But they need to give this game a better look. That's for sure. Like what you saw with the trailer, the gameplay and stuff. Yeah. They really need to make it better before they launch it. That's for sure.
Yeah, it didn't blow you away.
No. Like the intro with the music, with the big planet that you saw with the freaking big spaceship.
Yeah.
That part gave me goosebumps. Yeah. But as soon as I saw the gameplay, and also after that, people seeing having a discussion on social media. Yeah, that like really, I didn't like it after that. So
yeah, it started kind of breaking it down a bit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm still a bit surprised that they've shown Halo for the first time in a state like that. I'm still surprised about that.
Yeah,
that is.
I think personally it was and this can't. To be fair, there is no defending being able to show a stage, because I said this exactly same about the Hellblade team, and when they kind of showed off or brought the Hellblade developers on stream for the same thing. But That's quite obviously a decision that was above 343. That was Xbox saying, right, we need to show off something. So 343, I know it's not in the best of states at the moment, but we need to show off a bit of Halo Infinite to get the crowd going. Same as Hellblade, like they brought the developers on, and the developers showed nothing, literally nothing. Just go and look at our YouTube channel, please. Goodbye.
Filler, I think something had to be there, and then for whatever reason, it's been pulled, so they had to try and fill that slot.
But I would have just put Exomecha in. That was in the pre-show.
Could have done, yeah. But if that's if the pre-show had already been nailed down,
there was more people that were excited for Exomecha than there was for a lot of the games that were shown. That game looked badass. That was ridiculous. I mean, how good that game looked. Dear me. So we're kind of all in agreement there. It shouldn't have been shown off in the state that it was shown off.
No.
For me, I think it's good. Part of the statement, obviously, the statement's not on the screen that I've got up there, but part of the statement that the 343 guy said was it was obviously two reasons. It wasn't just COVID, but it was also kind of making sure that the game itself was as good as it could be, but also not putting too much stress on the staff. I think that was a little dig at crunch companies, companies that are really crunching down staff to the point where they're overworked and tired and leaving in droves. And you see that up and down the industry at the moment. There's so many big development companies that are going through crunch time where developers, and they're all on salaries, they're not paying overtime, they're all salaried, but they're working 3, 4, 5 hours additional to their salaried hours every night just to try and games out. It's obscene, and that's like for months and months on end up until it's released, and then people just forget that there's people behind games. Like there's actual human beings developing these things that have got families to go to and lives to live, as well as just create these video games. Yes, it's their passion, but we don't want to make them ill by making a video game.
Exactly.
Give them that extra bit of time, let them relax a bit. You know, the healthier they are, the happier they are, the better the game's going to be. If you're tired, you're worn out at work, and you're drilled into the floor, you're not going to be doing the best job you can do, regardless of what job you're in. If you're happy, you're rested, you're going to be doing far, far better. And I think that's exactly what needs to be done for the Halo team. If they've been worked to stress this last couple of months to try and get it polished and ready to go, and they're just saying, listen, the work that needs to be done to get this thing looking as good as it can look, we can't release it by deadline, we can't do it, then fair enough. Just say, right, okay, everyone relax, take a breather, get what you need to do, tell us what you need to do to make that game as good as it can be, and let's get it released with all the bells and whistles, with ray tracing, with HDR. Let's not skip it out. Let's get it ready, because the last thing I would want is if they released the game with ray tracing, that ray tracing wasn't done properly. We've seen that a few times when they've, on PC specifically, where they've implemented ray tracing or HDR, and it's looked really poor. Like it's
needs to improve the game.
Yeah, half baked, where they've just kind of thrown in it for the sake of it. I think they really need to, if they're going to put ray tracing and HDR into the game, then they need to make sure it's as good as it can be. And it looks like it's active, not just, oh yeah, we've got ray tracing, but you can't really tell. We can switch it off and it wouldn't make much of a difference. Well, then what would be the point? We may as well not have it if we can't really tell the difference. So, yeah, if they're going to include it, then do it.
But this including, if you look at the message that's also been released, is that they're going to do the free multiplayer. How is that going to be combined with this message? Are they going to release the multiplayer on a different timing, or perhaps are they going to do that earlier, or is it going to be on release as well?
I think it's going to be a release as well, but I think you'll get a beta, probably be a closed beta first, but then an open beta, but free. And I think that's probably going to release, I would even say, as much as 2 months prior.
It's a shame that they
one map.
Yeah, it's a shame that they couldn't have delivered that message themselves.
Yeah, I mean, even it would be great if they could say, "Listen, this beta isn't a bells and whistles finished product, but here's a multiplayer thing for launch." Yeah. So on the launch of the Series X, we've still got Halo Infinite multiplayer beta for you to play. Halo Infinite set to release 2021. So at least then it makes, so at least then you've got gameplay, and then you feel like, right, I really can't wait to play this game and see what it's all about, because I've had the chance to play some of the multiplayer.
Yeah.
It could work that way. You never know. It could be something that they could organise, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I would potentially do that, because multiplayer, especially if it's specifically, it's not kind of the campaign aspect that's affected. You don't need the ray tracing and things like that to enjoy multiplayer.
Exactly.
Not to the same extent. Not to the same extent. So we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, that ties. I mean, this whole Halo topic, however, does tie in perfectly for the two kind of controller leaks that we've had over the last day or two. One of them primarily being the Xbox Series S and X controller leak, which was the all-white variant. We know, judging by by the photos that I've seen dotted around Twitter, they seem like they've been robbed from several stores in Chicago. From a store that was looted in Chicago. Unfortunately, the box that they were stored in specifically had "Do not open" until I think it was October. Do not open or kind of stock any of these on shelves until October. And obviously there's 3, 4, 5 different people with the controller. It's not just one. So I think quite a few people have gotten their hands on it. But it looks good to me. It means it's very. I think it's very strange. I think I prefer the face shell of the S controller that we've already got. Obviously, add the share button in where it has a little bit more curvature on the top than the than the all flat. I don't know how I feel about that.
That was one of the things that I noticed directly when I saw the Xbox One Series S controller. It looks a bit bigger on top and like more like an oval shape.
It reminded me actually the first time when I saw both controllers on top of each other. I had to think about the Stadia controller.
Okay. Yeah.
I felt a lot of resemblance there. What they've said about what are the improvements and changes with the controller, I like it. Those grips on the back, the bumpers. I love it that they've done some additional changes there. The share button, most welcome. I use an Elite controller, and the D-pad that they've changed that perfect. But the shape itself in top, I'm with you there. I don't know how I feel about it. It looks a bit different, that's for sure. So that's good that there's a difference between the old controller and the new controller. That's a clear difference that you can see.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one that, like I say, the thing about it for me was that obviously we know what it looked. I think I prefer it in black. Definitely prefer it in black.
Yeah.
I think it's lost. It's definitely lost a little bit of its shape, but I think they had to change more than just add a share button and kind of a few of the things internally, like the low latency and kind of the textured grips. That other than doing the textured grips, the share button and the low latency and the USB-C, they had to change something about its design to make it look different.
But I'm glad they didn't change it like the PlayStation 5 controller, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of that.
That's close to the size of a Duke.
Exactly.
It's a big controller. It's a big one. Oh, hi. What do you think about it, Broyr, then? Did you like the controller? What's your thoughts on it?
I like the new controller. It's got a lot of resemblance, of course, with the current controller that we have.
Yeah.
As you say as well, I prefer the black one. Most of my controllers are all black. I've got a couple of limited edition controllers, but I always use my Elite controller. I like the weight of it. So I'm curious how the controller feels, Especially if I'm feeling the difference between the default controller and the Elite controller. I like the handles, the bumpers on the back, how those feel different, and how the rubber feels as well. Exactly.
Yeah.
That feels so good. So I need to feel it in my hands to really know what will be the biggest difference between all those between the default and the new one controller. But on color scheme, definitely all black.
Yeah, 100%. I think we've seen that before, haven't we? But it's it's just how it's so flat.
Yeah,
like, that's the only thing. It's got no
the first time I saw there's the picture also going around about that you can order a cake off a controller.
Yeah.
was it the cake? No, it's a controller. Oh, okay, something else.
God, it's I don't know. Again, that's the only thing. And the deep, I want to know what. Obviously, I'd take them apart anyway for partly a living. But I want to know what the internals like, if they've changed very much, or if they look very similar to the Series 2 internals, or what they've done with the D-pad, how the D-pad works now, because that isn't. That's very much 360-esque. That D-pad. What are your thoughts on the D-pad on that one?
You ask me? Oh, sorry, I'm not paying attention. I'm looking at pictures right here, but yeah, I've seen a few people complaining about the change of the D-pad.
Yeah,
but for me, the D-pad looks really, really good. I like it the way it looks. I don't know. It looks different. That's for sure. But I think it feels good, I guess. I'm not sure yet, but
look, judging by what we've seen anyway, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. I see no problems. Like I said, I see a lot of people complaining about the D-pad, why it's changed and that stuff,
Yeah.
But no, for me, it fits with the controller, like how the controller looks. It fits with it. So yeah, man, I like it.
Were we able to change the D-pad as well on the normal controllers, or is that still something limited to the Elite controller?
Oh, I can change the D-pad on all of them.
You can do it, no problem.
I can go for it. I'll do that.
I think it's stuck in there. I think it's supposed to be an amalgamation of the two of them, because that's the Elite one.
Yeah,
you can actually clearly see the D design on the new pad rather than having it as a disc.
Yeah, it's very much the hybrid that they say it is, really, isn't it? So
it's like the two coming together. So like from the Elite controller and like the normal D-pad.
Yeah.
But a lot more customizations possible on the Elite one. Yeah.
The one thing that's got me
what you see is what you get.
Oh yeah, 100%. The one thing that's got me wondering is, are they going to launch the Series X with I've forgotten the name of it now, the custom section that they do for the current controllers? Design Labs? Are they going to launch Design Labs? Or they're not? Are they going to? Because I can't imagine they're going to continue to do Design Labs on the previous model controllers. Surely they're going to have to change that over to the new.
I think they're going to switch it to the new one.
I can only imagine, to be fair. Like,
it's flying around here. I've got old mosquitoes up here.
Did they say whether the old pads are going to be able to have a patch for the low latency?
They always update them, and I tend to find a lot of the times the controllers update immediately anyway. So I would imagine that you would get a low latency patch. It really depends on the technology that's inside of it.
Yeah.
I don't know whether or not it's just down to the Bluetooth strength and capabilities. I would imagine, and I've noticed anyway from Series S controllers, but there's several different variances of the regular Xbox One S controllers anyway, kind of the streamlined one. And you can only tell by very, very subtle things, and it's the Xbox guide button. If it's an older version of that pad, then the actual X and the Xbox guide button isn't removable at all. It can't be taken out. If it's the newer variant of the S controller, then the X itself in the middle of the guide button can be removed, which is a bit of a strange thing to notice. But when you take them apart to paint them, you notice it. But that version of the controller is more responsive than the original version. But again, that was just down to the the Bluetooth variant that was used inside the controller. So I'd imagine that as long as you've got the newer version of the S controller, then that should be able to have a firmware patch to get the low latency in it. So hopefully that answers that one. Yes is the answer. As long as it's a newer version of it, then yes, you will get the low latency. But if it's an older Xbox One pad, like OG Xbox One, no, not getting low latency on that.
Or for my Elite.
Oh yes, yeah, the Elite. Well, no, do you mean the Elite V2?
Yeah.
Elite V2 already has a variant of low latency in it.
Oh, does it?
So that will already be able to, as soon as they do the Series X, it'll work even better, because the low latency works perfectly on the Series 2, but the Xbox One X hasn't got the same features in to be able to have the same latency. As soon as it moves over to the Series X, it'll be fine. Same thing applies for PC. The Series 2 works seamlessly with low latency on PC. But
is it actually noticeable?
Yeah, very noticeable. Yeah, it's more on it's effectively the difference between when you're playing wired and wireless. The kind of the feel of when you're firing off the gun. You know, it's sometimes, especially online, you get that you pull the trigger and it doesn't quite pull the same time as you're expecting to. But when you plug in the cable, it's like an automatic, because it's direct. There is nothing breaking that connection. So yeah, it's the same concept. Okay. On the same thing, guys. If we're going over from looking at that, I'm just going to pull up the other one. I think I sent it in chat earlier on, so I'll pull it up. There it is. Boom. So we've got the PS5 controller.
Yep.
What do you make of this? Everybody and anybody who wants to jump in first.
I won't know until I hold it. It's got the potential to be better than the DualShock, because I'm not a big fan of DualShock. It feels like a toy when I pick up a DualShock, especially with the weight of the V2. And then you pick it up and it's just kind of like, and I've not got the biggest hands, but I still think I'm going to end up breaking it. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully I like it. The only thing I don't like is where the thumbsticks are.
Yeah.
I know I'll never get used to that, regardless.
No.
Yeah.
I have to. I mean, I've thankfully I've got like an Elite, what would be classed as a pro controller for the PlayStation anyway, so I can kind of get away with it. But every now and again, I have to use the standard one, because I just, instead of faffing around, because my pro controller for the PS4 is wired only. Sometimes you just can't be bothered to plug it in and get it all set up and things. So, sometimes I have to use the standard one, and I'm not a fan of having the sticks bang in the middle. It just feels a bit strange, especially on shooters. Like, I am useless on shooters on the PlayStation having that analog stick set up.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I liked about the PS4 pad over the Xbox was the thumbsticks, how they felt. I always felt that the Xbox were too loose, that you could get from center to end too quickly. There was no tension in it. But even with the Elite 2, I've put it to the highest tension, which feels a lot better.
Oh god, yeah, feels so much better.
Yeah, whereas it feels too loose in comparison to the PlayStation.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that it had over it. But the positioning of the thumbs always irritated me. I wasn't a big fan of the triggers. The triggers look more like Xbox triggers. I don't understand why they curved it down rather than... Well, no, it curves up a little bit, but yeah, it always felt a bit weird. But hopefully it'll be a good pad, because I plan on getting one and I plan on playing on it.
Yeah. So. I mean, you can... It's definitely... To me, it's obviously... It's a much bigger controller in all dimensions.
Yeah.
In all dimensions. The the triggers are obviously wider. If you have a look at the PlayStation 4 triggers now, they're not very wide. They're quite thin, to be honest. There's not much to them. If you've ever seen the insides of one of the PlayStation 4 controllers as well, I mean, the triggers are just flimsy. The little bits of plastic with a little pin that controls it, and that's it. There's really not much to them. In an Xbox controller, because it's already got kind of the dual shock kind of inside of each sides, and then the haptic feedbacks in the triggers anyway. There's a lot to take off. It's all screwed on. You've got wires going to it and everything like that. So at least the grip on them is going to be a bit better, but there's not much change to the design on the actual triggers and things like that for me. Patjeuh, what do you make of the controller?
I'm looking at the picture right now. I already saw it like earlier today when you sent it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not what I want. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, for me, I don't know. It's strange. Like Shom also says, the sticks, they're in a weird place. But that's because I'm used to holding an Xbox controller. So, I'll probably gonna try it out when Erwin is gonna buy the PS5, because he's gonna buy it for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely gonna take a try and feels how it plays. And also, like you said, the triggers, I've noticed that they're a bit wider than the PS4 controllers.
Yeah.
That's probably one positive thing I can say about the PlayStation controller for now.
Yeah.
But until that, I'm gonna wait till I can play on it. So maybe I can come back on that.
I don't know. See, for me, judging by these pictures, I don't know how big this person is or how tall they are or whatever, how big their hands are. But to me, that looks like that's quite a. I don't know whether or not that's quite a large grip to go for, but I don't know. It looks like they're potentially overstretching to try and reach the end of the analog stick there.
And I haven't been playing a lot on PS4 controllers though, but to me, the biggest issue that I've had, mostly been playing FIFA on a PS4 controller then with some mates. I thought it felt too small. So if it's going to be a bit bigger, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
The one thing I've noticed on this controller is the weird board shape on the end. I don't know how that's going to work with how comfortable it's going to be. It's a bit strange. Very flat here, but extremely bowed on the outside. Don't know whether or not that's just to help with grip. Maybe I can't imagine that there can't be that much more inside of here. You've got some haptic feedbacks in your triggers. You've got the microphone in the middle.
That's it. Blow.
That's it. Yeah, that you have to blow on to keep it. Probably to keep it cool. It's actually that's a cooling solution.
It's got a vent in it.
PlayStation's cooling solution's actually in the controller. You have to plug the cable in for it to work, though.
I think actually, I think it's the feel. I think it will be, for me at least, it would be an improvement compared to the DualShock that they're using right now.
Yeah,
I really don't like that controller, especially when I'm playing FIFA and I'm using that left stick there.
Oh god, yeah.
If I'm halfway through the match, I'm gonna put down the controller. My thumb is all red and glowy, and it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. It's I can't for me on PlayStation it's shooters. I cannot do shooters with that at all. Cannot do shooters. Not a chance. It just feels so strange trying to in the middle. It's just it's not working. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. Dear God. Oh, hi. So,
how do you feel about the battery stuff?
Yeah, for me, the battery increase isn't enough. You see my comment actually on there. 560 isn't that much.
Yeah.
There isn't enough of a change. You're going from 1,000 to 1,560. It's a half a battery jump to house what is now the most power-consuming thing in batteries on controllers, which is haptic feedback. If they're going to be pushing haptics as much as they say they're going to be pushing it, and the use of the microphone and the onboard speakers and the lights, if they're going to be pushing that, how much they're meant to be pushing it, them triggers are going to be getting utilized a lot, as well as the actual dual shock that's already built into the controllers. That battery isn't, the extra 560 is going to be gone before you know it. It's going to make no difference, absolutely no difference. They needed to really push that battery up double, 2,000.
But with the amount that they have right now inside, how many hours can it go? Like, how long can you play with it?
At the minute, you've got varying people, because there's varying people saying the DualShock 4 lasts between kind of 4 to 6 hours at a push.
I get about 6 to 8.
Yeah.
But then if I don't use it for a couple of weeks, it's pretty much dead. Even if it charge when I stop using it.
I've got one DualShock that is completely dead and doesn't charge, and that's only because it hasn't been charged, which is a really strange thing to do. Even literally left it on the wall, plugged in as well, and it's not charged. It just isn't picking up a charge, and that's for no reason. So I'll just have to replace the battery. But other than that, I don't know why they insist on putting really low end, low capacity batteries in controllers. I get it's chargeable, but you don't want to be charging it every couple of hours. I mean, the vast majority of game sessions are like 2-3 hours if you're playing with friends, at least. You know, halfway through that, your battery's half dead, and you get a notification on the screen saying your battery needs plugged in. I've had that for the first time ever the other day. The first time since I've had my Series 2 controller, I got notified that on the Xbox that it needed charged. First time. I've had it for months. I've had that thing for months. It's the first time I've needed to charge it. But,
yeah, that's crazy.
But I've got the Xbox One, the original battery charging kit. I bought it, and I don't know how much is in that one, but
1,480.
1,480.
Yeah, and they've increased the battery on the PS5 controller to only 1,500.
But 1,480, it feels like me. Well, I usually only play on Tuesday evenings with that controller, so if I'm not the best reference case, maybe there, but I feel like I only need to recharge it once a month. So I think I'm playing 12 to 16 hours with one charge.
Problem you've got on the PlayStation controllers that the Xbox doesn't have is they've got that light bar on the back that just drains energy for no reason, because no game uses the light bar. The only reason you need that light bar is for VR-based games or things like that. Yeah.
See, this is always what I never understood with the argument of having a built-in battery for the PlayStation. It's like I've got a packet of Eneloop Pro that are 2,500, and they last 15 to 18.
Yeah, that's the same. To be honest, that's actually the same capacity battery as the Series 2 Elite has. So 2,500. But that one's because it's only on there. That's only consuming what is essentially the inputs and the dual shocks and the haptics. That's it. That's all it needs to do. It doesn't. I always turn
the light off. Yeah, you can turn the light off on my pad. Yeah, not off, down to minimum.
Dim lighting. Yeah, I do the same. But on the PlayStation, you've got the light on. You've got the light that goes around the touchpad in the middle. You've got the touchpad itself that consumes. You'll now have haptics that consume the speaker, which then shouts at you in games. Then you've got the microphone. Yeah, Patjeuh, have you experienced that yet?
A controller shouting at me? No.
Have you not experienced that on PlayStation yet?
No.
Sean will know what I mean. If you play things like Horizon Zero Dawn or anything like that, you'll notice every now and again the speaker will start making noises, which catches you off guard the first time you start.
Even I think it might have been The Last of Us, because you use that button for the torch,
Yeah.
So had the clicking sound of a torch going on and off.
Yeah. You didn't realize
okay.
where it was coming from every now and again.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
But it's the problem they've got though is that like the speaker and the controller anyway isn't of the best quality, so it's like some like really like raspy high pitched crap that's coming out of it. It's like,
Okay.
It's like the headphones you get when you go on a flight and you haven't bought your own.
yeah, that's what it sounds like. And you haven't even got them in your ear; you've just got it somewhere. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
That's crazy. No, I never experienced that. No.
So you've got that. Was it the same with that? You just got poor headphones. I'm saying when you flew to China, was that what you got? Just the poor airline ones?
I had I had the proper ones in my coat, and the way I'd put my coat was kind of like off to the side, and I was like, these can't be that bad. And I was watching, I think it was John Wick 3,
right.
and I was like, is this like the quality of sound you get on planes? This is not good. And I was like, let me try my proper ones. So I spent a couple of minutes trying to untangle them all, put them in. I was like, oh my goodness, that's so much better. And it was just like really tinny, kind of raspy. You know when it goes too high and you get the reverberation going? It was like that, just like all the time. That's the PS4 pad anyway.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, just to give you a reference, that's what the PS4 pad sounds like when it shouts at you.
Yeah.
And it's not like all the time either. It just catches you off guard. Like every now and again, you'll forget it does it, and then it just there we go, just makes a noise. You're like, oh. I forgot what I was. Oh, it was Ghost of Tsushima. So obviously on that game, you use the touchpad to get because they say there is no directions. You just use the world, and it helps you follow the wind. But you can control the wind, which kind of defeats the object really and the purpose of that. You control when the wind comes out and how often you do it. So there is a guideline. You can do it as much as you want. But anyway, press the touchpad. The wind comes past and it tells you the direction to go. But I forgot entirely that the speaker did things. So all I got was this really strange version of a wind noise coming through me controller. What was that? So that's what you have to look forward to anyway when you play on the PlayStation 5.
Okay.
Fart noises coming through the controller.
Yeah.
In party chat and loud because you've got a microphone there now, so you don't need headphones.
Party chat.
Now you got me thinking.
Yeah,
I might be switching out to buying a PS5 on launch. A farting controller. Sounds so good.
Sounds good. Dear God.
Stick it under your wife's seat and let it.
That's the thing. I can imagine that thing being absolutely nightmare. Imagine that at Christmas when people are online games and kids are playing the PlayStation for the first time and no one's got a headset in, but doesn't realize that the microphone is always live. There's going to be party chats full of families that are just shouting and screaming and loads of kids. Yeah. Connect was the worst thing ever for party chats. And everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. Yep. You can hear the entire house regardless of what floor you're on. You can be down the street, your Connect's picking you up. Doesn't matter where you are, that thing's got you. It's exactly what the PlayStation 5 controller is going to be like.
But it never understood you. That's the difference.
Yeah.
You asked it to do something. It's like, what? No, what? And then you're playing a game, it's picking up your next door neighbor having a conversation.
Yeah. And unless somebody for instance, you're watching a YouTube channel and someone mentioned the word Xbox on, and then it was just like, hey, I'm awake. I'm just going to disturb you now.
People started changing the gamer tags to Xbox off.
Yeah. I see that. I remember that. And it just literally turned people's consoles off. There's loads of YouTubers did that at the end of the videos as well. They were just like, you can't now say Xbox off. And then people would complain to different YouTubers. Well, why did you actually say that? Don't say it. It means we'll have to now turn it back on to start watching your video again and then scroll past that part of the video. Otherwise, we're going to have to turn the Xbox on again. Stupid. Dear me. It's like the whole problem with Siri and Hey Google. Things that say that my phone's just woke up now. Phone's just did exactly the same things, just woke up. Saying Hey Google and just wakes itself and again.
Okay.
But imagine that on when this console releases, you've got this PlayStation controller, and you can just hear everybody's families at Christmas. Everybody, no matter who they are, and you have to go into the options to turn the microphone off.
And no one will find those options.
Nope. Nope. Especially 5-year-old Timmy. He's not finding that option. He doesn't care about that option. Timmy's going to shout and scream as much as he wants.
He's taking that back to the loo.
Yeah. You're going to hear every little thing. There's going to be so many arguments broadcast on Christmas Day on a PlayStation. Yeah, mate. Oh God. So I think we've definitely covered those. That's
Yep.
The other news that kind of came off the back of the Halo Infinite news as well was again from Xbox Series X launch window. If I go back onto that, I'll just switch screens again. So the launch window was confirmed as November, and a few sites have picked up on a specific date in November as the 6th of November, so the very beginning. What do you all think about a very early November launch date? Do you think that's good timing? Do you think maybe it's a little bit near the end? Do you think it's a little bit late?
I'm a little bit disappointed.
Why? What is it that disappoints you, Sean?
Because it's not early September.
You want it now? Yeah. Just pull it forward. You haven't got Halo anyway, so why not? Just give us it now.
I think it's a good time. I think it's just before Black Friday, so they can pump out deals on Game Pass Ultimate and games and things like that. We can really push hard on that. I expect PlayStation to do the same thing, have a similar launch window, whether it be the same day or weekend or whatever. I think they're both planning on trying to get out before Black Friday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
And they'll probably sell a shed ton of current gen consoles as well. Get rid of the back stock.
They are the Xbox Series X. No, not the Series X. The Xbox One X.
Yeah.
It's not for sale anymore.
No.
So if the stock is out, it's out.
Yeah, I plan on hawking mine once I've got a Series X.
Oh, mine will be shelved. Mine will be shelved. No, I'll probably put it downstairs for the time being. To be fair, I'll just put it downstairs when the Series X comes, and then eventually replace it with a Lockhart. And then put the Lockhart downstairs and shelve the One X. Obviously, I can't sell the well, I could sell it, but I'd have to sell it privately because it's the Gears of War 5 Xbox One X, and not even a standard Gears of War 5 one. It's a one I made, so there's going to be no standard shop because that is no warranty whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, they won't touch that.
They would not touch that. It's got LED lighting in the lot. That's a nightmare. That they couldn't possibly. Could not possibly. Dear me. What do you make about the release window then, Broyr? Is that good enough for you or too late?
It's perfect. I hope by that time that I'll be in my new house. So I'm moving out, and hopefully in November I'll be in my new house and I'll have my my gaming room set up together with my Xbox Series X. So yeah, I love the timing. I've got my my cash already planned. It will be directly day one for me. Yeah. That's so far I haven't seen anything that I'm very thankful for this. To be fair, that has made me justify getting both of them at the same time. So as it stands, I'll be getting the X first, and then a few months down the line, probably getting the PlayStation 5. But I'm not in a rush to get the 5 at the moment. There's nothing there I don't like Spider-Man. It's not my cup of tea. It could probably make an amazing game to the average person, but in terms of characters and things like that, I can watch superhero films, but playing them doesn't bother me at all. Just doesn't interest us. So that's not a system seller to me. That's not going to sell me the PlayStation 5. And outside of that, there is nothing I need on that console yet. So it can wait.
I think especially with no real information about backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, if they were saying, for instance, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, and all of them automatically get patches that improve and take advantage of PlayStation 5, then it would be I'd be more inclined to say I'll probably get ones quicker, because then I'd love to go back and see what these additions have been like to make these games look and feel better.
Yeah,
but they're not doing any of that. Whereas at least with Xbox, they've already said on day one you've got not only, if I go down here, you've got more than 50 games to play across on the Xbox Series S for this holiday. Newer ones, including Valhalla, Dirt 5, Gears Tactics, Yakuza, Legion, etc., as well as Destiny 2, Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Maddens, the FIFAs. All of them are going to have patches specifically for Series X. You know what I mean? It's at least now I know, right, my backwards compatible games are going to be taking advantage of the Series X come launch day. I've got more of an inclination to say if both consoles have weak launch lineups, then at least on this one I can continue to play the very recently released games, but in the best possible quality. Makes more sense to me. I mean, Patjeuh, how do you feel about it?
About the release, yeah. For me, it's not gonna be day one. At the moment, I'm busy with my driver's license.
Sweet.
So
we getting the car
probably next year. But I'm gonna split the half with my girlfriend. So we both use the car. So why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the prior things that I'm doing this year. I have a few lessons to go. Then I have my theory exam first, and then I can do my exam with the car. And I'm not sure if it's going to be this year because it's delayed because of the coronavirus and that kind of stuff. So, but I hope to get it this year. So for me, it's gonna be later for me that I'm gonna get the Series X. But the release date seems pretty good for me. But if I will get it,
I was expecting it kind of potentially the last 2 weeks of October, as opposed to going into November. I think November maybe's it gives, at least if we know the release date is going to be in November, we still don't know price, but at least we know in November we're cashing out. That's when your money's getting spent. It's still very. I so hope that they've got enough stocked in for the average consumer. That goes for PlayStation and Xbox, because that is late in the day to be running out of consoles in store.
Where are you gonna buy it?
I'm getting mine from Amazon. Always pre-order on Amazon. Amazon's always reliable in the Northeast.
I don't know, because they have in the past taken more orders than they've got.
Yes, they have.
Amazon,
but it's a toss-up between. See, it's a toss-up between that and an Xbox Direct.
Yeah.
I might do both. The good thing about both of them is you can pre-order without paying a dime, and your money doesn't come out until it's dispatched. The one thing of course, I'm not going to be, and it's at this moment in time, it's looking unlikely that we'll be able to do things like midnight launches and go and pick up game consoles and things like that. I think with all the COVID things like that's going to be completely impossible.
Nowhere, so I ain't doing no midnight launches.
Nope. Not in the middle of Fort Bill. Definitely not. You'd have to climb a few mountains to get to a midnight launch.
The shopping street shuts at 6 o'clock, so
yeah, and they're just like, no midnight launches here.
I think I'm gonna order it directly at Microsoft in the Microsoft store. Yeah,
I'm thinking that as well. Like I say, it's the benefit of that is that the money, your console's on its way when the money leaves the bank. That's what I like. That's what I like about Amazon as well. It's the fact that they don't take that payment until it's dispatched. I'm like, good. I know it's on its way.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah.
The other section here is, again, and this is something that I think we've kind of just covered there, but not so much in depth, as the amount of games that we're going to be able to play. And again, I think what they're trying to stress now, particularly now that
exactly
they've delayed Halo, is the amount of games you can play on launch with themselves. Obviously, you've got xCloud, but you've got thousands of games come launch day. 50 new games across all third-party developers. They're also saying new games developed for and launching with Xbox Game Pass, like Medium, Scorn, etc. I hope Medium's a launch title. As far as I'm aware, it's launch month, if not launch day. And hopefully it is, because that's personally, that's a reason to buy any of the consoles. That looks tremendous so far. But I'll still be at this point anyway, much like yourselves, be playing Cyberpunk, Valhalla, all of them. I'll still be knees deep in them games anyway, so it doesn't bother me too much. I just hope that the patches come out quickly so I can see what they look like.
I want to buy your time. How do you manage to play? How many hours will Cyberpunk be? 100 and 120 hours?
Yeah, probably at least.
And the rest. Yeah. The Witcher was like 200 hours at least.
But is Cyberpunk also going to be on the Game Pass, like on launch?
Probably not. I'd be very surprised. In fact, I think the devs have kind of poured cold water on that, because somebody said, wouldn't it be interesting if blah, blah, blah? He gave it as example, and then the dev went, you may want to use a different example.
Okay.
No.
But what I remember is, like, when the Xbox showcase was on, you had that part where they showed Grounded, and then all of a sudden you saw Cyberpunk 2077 in the screen.
Yeah, they were just if you want to play the best game this year.
You know what it is?
Say it was Game Pass.
You know what it is? I wouldn't put it past them now, with the delay of Halo, to get on, because they've already got the marketing rights to it. So I wouldn't put it past them to come to CDPR and say, listen, how much would it cost to get Cyberpunk? How much would it cost to get Cyberpunk on launch in the Game Pass stuff? Yeah.
What is Microsoft's Xbox biggest push? As Game Pass.
Yeah.
Game Pass. All the way. And with their unique launch title missing, Halo Infinite, I think it's being that would cost a bunch of money. But if they would launch Cyberpunk into Game Pass, that's a system seller.
Yeah. 100%.
That would be a huge system seller.
Huge. It's like I say, that's one, especially if you can say now, okay, if you get this console, it already comes with 3 months worth of Game Pass. You've got Cyberpunk immediately, and that is the most anticipated game, I think, on everybody's list is Cyberpunk.
Yep. True.
So, I think that would be too big of a deal. I
don't think so. I think if Microsoft want it done, they can do it. I don't think that's a bit too big of a deal. It's third-party games aren't in Game Pass forever.
No, that's true.
They can only say, right, okay, all we need is Cyberpunk in Game Pass for 2-3 months. How much is going to cost for 2-3 months?
Give it us until the 1st of January in Game Pass.
Exactly. You seen what happened to The Witcher? How many copies did The Witcher 3 end up selling? It's like 50 million or something.
Yeah.
That's just obscene.
Yeah.
3 month or 6 month deal.
Yeah.
They actually say from the beginning, you can play this up until this date.
Yeah.
And loads of people will buy it just the fact that you can get it a bit cheaper off Game Pass.
Yeah, exactly. And you get the discount. You get like 20% off immediately just from Game Pass. Microsoft, of course, what people don't realize is that doesn't mean the developer doesn't get full price. It means Microsoft make up the difference.
Yeah.
Because they're not just going to give every person in that game a 20% discount on all the games. Microsoft will just say, no, we'll take that discount. The person, because they've already invested in us for Game Pass, we'll cover the rest of the money. Sorted. There we go. We'll cover the discount. If it means more people buy your game, then fine.
But I've seen a couple of comments of developers as well, is that they are actually making more money when their game is into Game Pass than when it wasn't. So it's even if it's in-game content that they're buying or skins, whatever. If the more people are playing your game, the more chance you have that they will, and you have a good game, then you can be sure that people will buy in-game content or DLCs or whatever. So that would be a hell of a deal.
Well, that's the one thing about The Witcher. They are again one of the most consumer-friendly companies developers I've ever seen. Like, if you've seen the amount of content they released with Witcher for the price that they released at, was just obscene. Like, the expansions themselves were like 15, 20, 30 hours each. So extended the game by like 100 hours. It was just like, really?
That's a full game.
Yeah.
That's longer than Miles Morales.
It is, yeah. Their expansions are bigger than like full titles. But that's CDPR. And then, like, if you've seen some of the stuff they come out with as well, it's like there's the comments that they really don't care to a certain extent what people think. They're just like, no, we'll do what we need to do to get this game out. It's not a child's game by any way, shape, or form, and we don't develop children's games. It's we can do what we want in this game. Where it can be extremely gory. It's going to be filled full of sex scenes. You're going to be able to change your genitals. I mean, that's not even exaggeration. You can literally change your genitals on that game, which is, but that's Cyberpunk for you. They just want to do whatever they can. Just change any body part.
I think there will be so many hours just in the customizations of your character. How far are you in the game? I haven't created my character yet.
Yeah. You've had it a week. I'm still tweaking it.
Still going. Haven't quite decided on which mustache color to go for this guy. The one thing I liked as well, and that was from obviously diving down the Cyberpunk rabbit hole there. Did you all see the most recent video stream the developers done the other day?
I watched a bit of it. I didn't get a chance to watch it all.
One thing they essentially what they did was introduce the different factions. Obviously, you know about the different factions anyway. I would hope, Patjeuh, at the moment. So you've got certain things. So you've got the nomads.
Three factions, right? Yeah.
Nomads, Corpo, and who's the last one?
Street.
Yeah, it's like Street, something like that. So you've got three different factions, but essentially on the stream, what they showed was three entirely different storylines.
Yeah.
So you choose a faction at the beginning of the game. Now, to me, that sounds like not only are you creating an absolute mammoth game that is the size of Witcher 3 in terms of content, but you're also then saying, well, now you've got the ability to go back and choose the faction completely differently from the start and do a different faction story.
Yeah.
So if you're Corpo, then you're essentially working with the bad guys at the start, and you're going through all the corporate stuff and working in the city. If you're nomads, you work out essentially you've got a storyline that starts out in the desert, and you're working with a load of racers and things like that, and that have been kind of cast aside, and you're going back into the city to do some jobs to get some money and help your family. And then you've got kind of the kind of street rats who are kind of people that are addicted to modifying themselves and things like that, and gangs. So you've got three entirely different. I mean, the more I see the game and the more I hear about the content, it's just absolutely insane how much they put into it. And again, it's one of them things where you see CD Projekt Red and you think they're literally putting developers to shame with the amount of stuff that they're putting in their game.
Yeah,
it's obscene. Like, I know this is probably one of the, because if you look back as to when this game was originally unveiled, I think it was something like 2008.
No,
first years ago.
Yeah, about 2014, 2015, something
2014, 2015 was it?
Yeah, well, there wasn't anything. It was just we're making it. Basically, it wasn't long after The Witcher came out.
Yeah, there was that one. Was it?
Okay.
To me, actually,
2013. 2013.
How was that? So the year the Xbox came out.
Yeah, 7 years so far.
And they're releasing it in the next gen.
Yeah, yeah.
To me, actually, that's a game that I probably, even if it went into Game Pass, I would never start it up. It's too big for me. I would never be able to finish it. It's not even a thing that I could start on. It's just too big. I've had a couple of games, single player games. Star Wars Fallen Order. How long is that game? 10?
Which one?
15?
Yeah, 10, 15 hours, yeah.
That was extremely difficult for me to finish. I love the game. It's Star Wars. I love the universe. It's amazing. But and the gameplay, and the whole world, it was done beautifully. I loved it to that. But finishing the game, at the end it became a struggle for me. Since I'm, as I said, I'm a multiplayer guy, and that's pure single player. That many hours into a single player game is it's I think it's difficult. So if they are talking about 3 factions, and for one faction I have to play 100 hours to finish the game, so I have to play 300 hours to play a game. That's good luck. But they look amazing. So, but
yeah. So see, I don't know how people do it as well. My mate has completed Witcher 3 and all of its DLCs twice now, and I don't know how he's. Honestly, I couldn't do it. That's 200 hours. I couldn't. Nope.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's pure single player. It's really there's nothing with other people. How do you do it? You really get into the story and sucked into the world. If I look at World of Warcraft, that's exactly the same. You get sucked into a world and you keep going back.
Yeah.
But at least that was with other people. So
I mean, I've not even completed The Witcher, to my shame, and I've still put 5 days into it.
Kind of explains how big it is, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wept.
That's crazy.
But I think they need to do that. To be, is that there we go? Leo's saying thing. World of Warcraft is a time sink. Yeah, got to. Yes, it is. There was rumors, really. I'm sure you've probably all seen the rumors on Twitter that World of Warcraft could potentially be coming to Xbox.
I heard Jez Corden shoot that down. He says that's definitely not going to happen.
Yep.
But I don't know where the information came from or where he got his information. I tend to side with Jez just because he's so deep into the World of Warcraft community anyway.
Yeah. When I read that, I was actually nervous. I was like, oh no. I finally quit the game. Please don't tempt me.
Yeah. Please don't do it.
Leave it alone.
I can't do it anymore. Oh, I've only just come off. Don't put it back on.
That's a game I've been playing that for I think 6 or 7 years. And if I the amount of days played, since I had multiple characters, I think it was over 600 days, sort of like. It was insane. So if that's not coming to Xbox, that's a good thing. Don't get me tempted.
Patjeuh, if you could bring one thing to the Xbox on launch now that Halo's not there, what would you bring over? Other than the glorious PUBG patch for launch.
No, but I think that's not the thing that I'm looking for. But if there's one game, jeez, I don't know. But yeah, a new Forza Erwin.
Forza Erwin, you want?
Yeah, but that's gonna take a year from now that it comes out. But I'm not a big fan of Forza Motorsport, but I'm a huge fan of Horizon. So it that's it's not gonna happen. That everybody knows that, but that's definitely a game that I would love to have on launch day.
Yeah.
If I need to choose a game, so.
Yeah, I would. To be fair, I would love it too. But I suppose for the one good thing we've got to come from this is the fact that Horizon 4 will be Series X enhanced, potentially even for launch.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Even if they manage to implement if just forget frame rates for a second, even if they put ray tracing into the map to make that look even more beautiful than it is, that'll do me fine.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If I can see that game with ray tracing's bells and whistles in, then that'll make me happy.
even better screenshot from Erwin.
Oh yeah.
That game is stunning. That looks stunning.
But that's one thing I can look forward to. I suppose we can all look forward to is that we know the capabilities of Playground Games, so we've got full trust in them to make a beautiful looking Fable game when that comes out. When it comes out, whenever that might be. 2024, I think.
23, I reckon.
You reckon 23?
2024.
They're still hiring for like lead writers and lead designers and everything so far.
Yeah.
I think 2023 as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a great teaser. Great teaser that they gave. Yeah.
Perfectly summed up exactly what Fable is, to be fair. It's a funny game. It's a funny game.
That's a game I've got good memories on that game. Being full evil on that. In the original Fable. Loved it.
Yes. I think everyone would love to see Forza in Japan with all the neon lights ray traced, the works. That would look insane.
Yeah.
Mountain racing, all of the different cherry blossom trees and things like that. All the light passing through them and the colors, the variances, that would be absolutely insane.
And I hope also, like in the next Forza Horizon, that the customization of the cars is gonna be more, because right now you have like same bumpers on the same different cars,
Yeah.
They need to extend that, because you have so many types of skirts, rear bumpers, front bumpers. They can do more. They need to do more in that.
They've only got like 20 cars or something where you can really customize them and put all these different body kits on.
Yeah.
Out of hundreds, they've got like 600 cars in that game.
660 cars or something, if I'm correct. Yeah.
And they've got about 20 you can actually customize properly. When put all the different wide body kits on and all the different sport body kits and lower them and put like everything onto them. There's 20 out of 600. they need to really push that game up a bit.
Yeah.
Sean, what would you like then? Other than obviously, I've discussed what I like. I think personally, get that third-party deal with CD Projekt. But what would you like to see on launch day?
I don't know. What do you mean? As in like something like a new first party or a marketing deal?
Either or. Anything that would drive you. What would you think? Even if it's, for instance, if both consoles launched and none of them had an exclusive, well, as it stands, none of them have really an exclusive to entice people in. What would entice you to Xbox?
If they gave me a definitive list of things that, even if it's like back compat, well, not back compat, but we're having the Series X update with ray tracing and all that, having a good cluster of games from them. I mean, I think we're getting what is it, the horror one, what's it called now? I'm just looking at it. Is it Scorn? When you go between the two worlds?
Medium.
Yeah, Medium. I'd be quite happy with that if that's a launch game. Because again, I get to play. I know a couple of my friends aren't going to be able to get it day one anyway, so I still be able to play games with them. So you got Medium. I'd like Stalker to come out early. but I don't think it will do. I think that's next year. Maybe a ray traced bells and whistles Metro game, so I can go back through that.
Yes, yeah. That shouldn't be too hard because it's ray traced on the PC already.
Yeah, so hopefully that's a day one patch.
So it's like, strangely enough, that's reporting a port. Porting the port back to the original device that it was released on. Should be an easy patch, to be fair. They've already got ray tracing in it. It's just a case of make sure it works. Does this ray tracing version work on the Xbox? Oh, yeah. Yes, it does. Good.
Yeah. I think there will be a decent amount of content, new content coming out about the same time. So I'm not overly concerned with people make out like Halo not being there is bust. Everything's not going to be worth getting, but there's going to be loads of content out, and been able to play my games that I've got already with my friends at a better, whether it be frame rate or visual fidelity or what, it'd just be an added bonus. So I'm not too concerned, and I just want them to deliver what they promise in terms of back compact games and games going forward.
Fair one.
Okay.
Broyr, what would you change?
Yeah, what Shomberlon also said. Just playing the games that what I've been playing today, Apex Legends, for example. Is that gonna be enhanced on launch?
Ooh,
I don't know actually.
I don't know whether or not it's going to be enhanced on any of them on launch.
That would be that's a game that I would love to see enhanced on launch, or at least in a short period after. Yeah. And if there's, I don't play a lot of single player games, but I've played a couple of them. And one of the games that I loved playing on the launch on the Xbox One, if they could put out Rise Son of Rome, or a sequel, or a completely enhanced version of the first one, I would love that one. That's a game. Right. Yeah. Not too long, straight line. You know exactly what you need to do. I loved it.
It's amazing. It's amazing how many people still haven't played Rise. It's a travesty, really, because that game is the story's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't.
It's amazing.
Yeah, even if you don't like obviously the combat was great at first, and once you've got used to the combat, then it's just the same all the way through. Yeah. That was the only thing. It kind of peaked immediately because the combat, it kind of showed everything straight away. It wasn't like here's another special move, here's another special move. It was like the first level, he has everything. Yeah. Okay, there we go, done. There's nothing else to learn. Now I know the game. But after that, I mean, personally, I think that they should have maybe had a few more special moves in there, a few more combat maneuvers, things like that. But they didn't. That's the only thing that hurt it. But I think people overlooked it because of that, and it became like a mini meme in the end. Oh, it's rubbish. But the game itself, the story was brilliant. The combat was quite fun. And it wasn't major long. I think some people are getting really bogged down in the fact that a game has to be unbelievably long to be a good game.
It has to be 40 hours, otherwise it's not very good.
For me, a shorter game like that, I would love it. That's a game that I would pick up for if no one would be online. I would go and put my hours in a game like that.
Yeah, I tell you what was quite good the other day, and I've just finished it. Was that I've just literally just had it on The Tourist.
All right, yeah,
The Tourist.
I loaded that.
Yeah. Oh. I just finished it. That was like 5 hours.
All right.
5 hours. It's a puzzle game, but it looks so. I mean, it's kind of, everyone would class it as pixel art, but it's voxel art, so it looks very similar to kind of like Minecrafty.
Yeah.
But visually much cleaner, much more pretty. The music in it is brilliant. Like, it's beautiful music. There's one little stage on it where you've got to collect like all the vinyls for a DJ and then go and give it to him. So he's got a little bit more variety when he's playing his DJ set. You can make each character like dance on the beach and stuff. So you're having a beach party. And you give him tons of tunes and then you can select which tune he plays. It's like really, But that's the kind of missions you've got, and you can stand there, and it's full-sized or full-length tracks and everything like that. So you can have a full party with all the DJ tunes on in the background and just chill. So if you want to just put that down, kind of browse on stuff, you've got music on in the background that's in the game. It's quite.
What? Okay.
Such a relaxing game, but it's so good to play. And it's like just daft little things. It's not like too long, not too short. Just right. Really interesting. And I think at the end of the game, they even poke fun at themselves. Like they just say, "Oh, like if I was the developer of the game, I'd want to see part 2." And that was like at the very end when you finished it, because you have the choice. It's like one of them kind of multiple things. So you can either choose to finish the game, or you can choose to go and finish the kind of all little bits of side quests and things. They're not big side quests. They're like we want to see you take photos of this, and this. We want to do here and like do pull-ups for this guy, or go and play soccer with this guy and beat him, or things like that. It's like Raj, like loads of different side games that you wouldn't normally expect in a game. Like it's got nothing to do with the game itself. They're just like when you meet characters in the open world, some guy wants you to play with his drone, like and just fly his drone around and go over checkpoints and things like that. Another guy wants you to do penalty shootout with him. With a football. Another guy wants you to have a chin-up competition with him. And a guy in a museum wants you to take photos for him. There's so much variety and stuff. And in between that, you've got to solve this kind of mysterious puzzle in different like dungeons and things where you've got to do like platform jumping and puzzle solving and things like that. But it's such an eclectic game, but it looks so pretty, and is like I say, it's plenty to do. It's one of them games where it was only a case of two play sessions. Played for a couple of hours one day and then a couple of hours the next, and that was it. And it was fun. It's worth a play. Recommend it highly.
Sounds something I can do in my work breaks.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's even when you've got a spare, like you don't even. It's one of them games where if you've got to spare 15, 20 minutes, you can get a portion of the game done. And it auto saves. There is no save point thing either. So if you just need to jump off it, you can just pause it and jump off, and it saves where you were standing. So there's nothing like that you have to worry about, which is even better. The worst thing that you could possibly do is have like they used to in bigger games where you have to get to a certain point of the story before it saves, and you're like, really? Dear God. But I'm all for that's like we're going back to topic there anyway. For games being too big these days, like it's all well and good having open world games, but a lot of people don't have the spare time.
Yeah, exactly. And one more thing as well. If I'm now exactly on what you said earlier, if I could have one more thing on the launch, that would be Minecraft Dungeons Enhanced with the latest DLC. I've been playing that game a lot with my son. It's great. I love the game. Yeah.
I think I've come. The only thing I'm on now is just going through the apocalypse mode. That's it. I'm doing apocalypse, so that's a slow grind. It's not.
I've completed them all on
really?
apocalypse. Yeah. I think my character is over level 100.
I think I'm only on level like 60 something at the moment. Yeah. But I've completed the first DLC, and the second one doesn't come out till next month, so I have to wait for that one. But the first one was good. It was short and sweet though.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
But it actually was kind of difficult at sometimes.
Yeah.
If you're playing alone, it's sometimes it's difficult, especially with those blowing up greens.
The vines. Yeah.
The creepers.
The creepers, exactly. Yeah.
Well, it was the vines as well on the DLC, where the vines pop up out the floor and block your path, and you've got them to fight. You've got to like break them down as well. All the weird wizard type people that just shout at you from a distance.
I've got a simple thing that I found out to be the key to defeat every boss and every mob so easily is to have those gloves. If you use the gloves and then have the enhancements that heal you, you can just keep on going.
Well, just use gloves.
Just gloves and enhancements that if you hit a mob, you get 7% of their health back. You just keep on hitting them and
just keep going.
Clear it, no problem.
Happy days, happy days. No, I think I would agree with you. I really enjoyed that game. But things like that, I'm kind of hoping / expecting these games to come out. One thing as well, we are getting, essentially, even though it's been out on PC, people who haven't had the chance to play Gears Tactics, people are going to love Gears Tactics when they play that on Series X. And that is going to be there again on launch. Gears Tactics will be there on launch for Series X. And people will love that. I've had the chance to play it on PC, and it's a great game. If you haven't played it, you will love it. It's just the same quality you expect from a Gears title, if not probably launched with better quality than Gears 5 originally did. There's a lot more content. There is no need to purchase anything in game. You just have everything. There's no loot boxes or anything like that. And all the items that you find for your characters, if you want to customize them, is found in game as well.
Yeah.
In each level, so it keeps you interested.
I love those games where you can customize all of your things, and that looks amazing.
Yeah. You literally customize everything down to a fine tooth comb. The weapon skins and the paintwork and the color of the paintwork and everything, the armor, the way the armor looks. You can individually which bit of armor and what it looks like, and there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Next stage, I don't know whether or not anyone's managed to dig anything up, but going into any additional news this week. Shom, have you got anything that's kind of interested you, or you've seen that you can enlighten us all on?
Not so much enlightened, but something that's annoyed me. Is just the sheer.
Tell me what's grind your gears.
Sheer abuse of my main man, Sam Fisher. He's now the next character in Rainbow Six Siege. So he's coming up in the next season.
Yeah.
Just give him his own bloody game. Just do it. Just give him his own game, because I'm getting tired of all these little cameos everywhere. I just want to play as Sam Fisher. It's getting on my nerves now.
Typical Ubisoft.
I just don't think they know what to do with it, because they have a very set formula.
Was it Breakpoint or Wildlands that had him in last time?
Yeah, to be honest, that DLC was quite fun. But overall, he's just having cameos everywhere, and I think it is because he doesn't fit the open world mold.
Yeah.
So they don't really know what to do with him.
I mean, how are they going to fit him into? I can't imagine how they're going to fit him into Rainbow Six, because that's just a team-based 4v4. Or
it'll be a shoot, and he'll have his gadgets, and that's it, like every other person.
I mean, it's a better setting for him, because at least he's in a smaller, confined space where he can be stealthy. But
the worst thing about it all, it doesn't even look like him, and it doesn't even sound like him.
Oh God, have they not used the same guy?
It doesn't sound like Michael Ironside.
Oh dear.
And it doesn't look like him at all either. Well, it does a little bit. Just get a guy with a beard.
Oh God. Just somebody with Splinter Cell's costume on.
It's not even that. He's not even that. Let me put it in let me pop it over to you in the private chat.
Yeah.
The link.
And 3 dots, and then you got them. 3 green dots, and that's it.
He doesn't even have that. The green dots are on his gun.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like there's nothing to say that this is Sam Fisher other than they're telling you it's Sam Fisher.
That's pretty bad. But again, they seem to keep doing this. Like I say, they've done it a few times before. It's
but at least with the Ghost Recon, it looked like him, and it was Michael Ironside's voice.
It was him. Yeah.
At
least it was him.
This is just some poor knockoff.
Oh dear.
Cashing on Sam.
Let's have a look. Actually, we should be able to pull it up on, if I just go on to Twitter back on here.
Is that the thing that you just sent?
Oh, here we go. Here's a better picture of him.
Yeah, see? 3 dots.
Really? What, this guy? Oh no, that's just a random terrorist. Not him.
There you go. That's a better picture of him. Versus, this is him from the last game. Let me send that over to you.
But that guy there, that's meant to be
supposed to be Sam Fisher, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It just doesn't even look like him.
No.
It doesn't even look like an old Sam Fisher. Just the whole facial features doesn't look.
Full
like
reveal August 16th. Are you going to be watching that this weekend?
Probably not. I'll wait for the Twitter outrage.
Yeah.
I'm sure, because I know so many people just kind of go, "Oh, just give me the flipping game."
Oh yes, I can fully imagine that. To be honest, I can fully imagine that. Dear God, no, I can. So that's what's ground your gears this week, then.
That is what's ground your gears this week. Yeah.
Patjeuh,
Yeah.
have you got any brilliant news for us out of the gaming industry, or even PUBG that you want to share with us today?
Yes. So today, and it's on PC right now at the test server. They got they added a new gun to the game, a light machine gun. Pretty amazing. The MG3, if I'm correct. And yeah, they're adding a few more things to the game. New kind of grenade. So they are giving some new updates that I'm really excited for.
Yeah.
And what else? What else? I didn't have that much time this week, like for looking up things.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that I'm really excited for, the new things that they added to the game. So yeah, man.
So
Looking forward to it.
The new gun there, you've got the rounds per minute you can change as well. From
You can 660, and you got 990, I guess.
Yeah.
And it also had bullet trace. So every 5 bullets, it will show you one bullet that will trace.
Tracer rounds.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite cool.
That's good. That's a little bit more realistic now as well, especially obviously tracer rounds are a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
To actually put them into games is good, because I don't think I've seen that in a realistic shooter yet, even in the Ghost Recon. Has there been tracer rounds in Ghost Recon before? I don't think there has.
I don't know.
Aware of.
I think it'll be really good to have that in a battle royale, tracer round. So at least if you're showing your friends, you can say, "Oh, there we go, tracer rounds."
Yeah, but
where it comes from as well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here what you see right now is the they did a change on the M4, the SKS, and the Kar 98, but they also changed the sound of the guns, and that's one thing where they made a mistake, because the sound of the guns are not good. They are not good. They're terrible.
The new guns, you mean you don't like the sound of the way they've done them now?
Yeah, so they changed the M4, the SKS, and the Kar 98, but they also changed the sound of the shooting, and the way it sounds, it's not the gun anymore. It like it was.
Doesn't sound anything like it.
No, really not. So that's a bad thing. I hope they change it back real quick.
Are you going to be jumping into the tournaments this time around as well, or?
The PCS2, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna vote on the teams, because with your votes, you can actually win points, and you can win like new costumes, new weapon skins, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And with the PCS1, I almost had everything correct, like on voting on teams. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Sweet. So yeah, our resident PUBG correspondent there, Patjeuh. Look forward to next week's updates.
Yeah, for sure.
And Broyr, what news have you brought us this week?
I've been searching, but I didn't find any big news. I got two topics. I don't know how people feel about discussing them, but one topic is about the console wars. That's always a thing that's on Twitter. I know you're a big person against the console wars. I think that's a good thing. It's easy to grab and make fun of others, but it's more difficult to see the positive things in what they can bring.
Yeah.
So exactly the same as what we did earlier on controller of the PS5 is okay. I laugh a little at how it looks. I think it looks like a bikini, and I see a puppet there each time if I look at it, but actually they try to bring something new, and it's a good thing. And people how they flame on the internet on things that are not good. I think it's a shame. For example, I think the PS5 will without a doubt outsell the Xbox Series X, without a doubt, and still more people will be able to play Microsoft first-party games through PC. So the console war really isn't a thing anymore.
Nope.
It's just something that people have in their mind, and that they have to defend the investment that they had to do. So I've bought a PS5 for $500. So everything else needs to be crap, and everybody needs to confirm it. So I feel good about the investment that I've did. It's something I think is a shame, and it's.
No, I completely agree. I think it's more of a thing of trying to justify it themselves.
Yeah.
Why they've spent this money. It's like if you were that bothered, it wouldn't be a case of money. It would just be a case of I've bought this thing to play games. To talk about the games, I didn't want to talk about the console. Tell us about the games you play. What game is it that you love? That's
exactly
that's all I'm bothered about. I'd rather hear a really enthusiastic person talk about the game that they love than hear someone drone on about the console and the fact that I can blow into it or chat about it.
And I must say, and that sounds a bit fanboy as well, and I guess, but that's what I like about the mindset that Microsoft is that Xbox is really going into. But not only Xbox, but Microsoft, they're really transparent on how they approach and their customer-centric first way of thinking. They don't care where you play it, as long as you play it.
Yeah,
exactly. And I hope that's something that other companies will be picking up as well, and that they see the benefit of it when they're doing it. So crossplay. I've got a couple of friends. They like to play on the PlayStation. Well, be my guest, of course. Play on your PlayStation, but it's a shame that, for example, on the Tuesday evenings that we have, they can't join. We can only play on the Xbox. We play on the Xbox, that are our preferred console, and they only have their PlayStation 4, so we can play together. That's a shame. So I hope if that's something that we can see in the next generation coming, if we can have a bit more crossplay across the platforms, that would be a good thing, and hopefully that would also make the console wars a bit more obsolete, where we can, as you say, we can talk about the games and what we like, instead of my console is better than yours.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think PlayStation would be fools to not get into at least the PC game, because the cloud game isn't something that will win. That's not being harsh on Sony. That's just fact. Microsoft own the cloud infrastructure, like the second largest behind Amazon, like Amazon Web Services in the world. It's the largest cloud system in the world. behind Amazon. There is no way that Sony are going to make up that ground in cloud gaming. So it's pointless going down that section. You've seen Google Stadia are trying it and they're failing miserably. Absolutely poor numbers. There's like 60,000 people invested into that platform.
Yeah,
that is shady. We've had indie games sell more than that in a week. The fact you can't even shift a console or a platform for free, and they've been handing out free trials to people left, right, and centre. It just shows how hard it is to get into anything to do with cloud gaming. So Microsoft have got that one down, just nailed, absolutely nailed. So I think if Sony would be fools to miss out on what is potentially 1.2 billion players on PC. That's where they need to focus. PlayStation 5, PC, and crossplay.
Yeah.
Sorted. That'll just make them fortunes. It'd be silly not to. Again, the biggest thing about PC is they like doing things like we do. They like online competitive play. They like playing with their friends. That's very much a player versus player platform, much like Xbox. Xbox is very much player versus player, which is why people spend hours and hours and hours in Forza and Gears and Halo and just online Apex, you name it. It's all online play. Xbox has been solely focused on multiplayer games for so many years. Yeah, they've neglected single player experiences, but that's where PlayStation has their upper hand. But it isn't even upper hand. It's just this console's really good for this. If this is what you want to do, and this console's really good for this, it's good to have options. And to be fair, if you had a console that had literally everything, I think there wouldn't be competition in the space. There wouldn't be.
Yeah. No, exactly.
If PlayStation had the best multiplayer games and the best single player experiences, then what would be the point in getting an Xbox? You wouldn't. There would be absolutely no point. Likewise, if Xbox did the same, if Xbox had the best single player experiences you could find and the best multiplayer experiences, then you wouldn't buy a PlayStation. You wouldn't have necessary for it, and there wouldn't be competition.
Yeah, the competition is good. That's true. That's true.
You need the competition, and it's offering different things for each of them. You need to have, and that's what a lot of people don't like. As you've mentioned, the fanboy thing. There's a lot of people in the fanboy space that, or Xbox aren't going to be in the console gaming thing for very much longer, or they won't last, or it's like you don't want that. You say you want that, but you don't want that.
Yeah.
If Xbox disappears, there is no PlayStation.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, indeed. And there's always one big winner.
Yeah.
That's Nintendo.
Nintendo just do what they want. Nintendo do not care. It's like,
Yep.
Dear me. Any other topics you want to cover there?
Yeah, the last one I really would emphasize to everyone try out in Cuisine Royale. It's
Cuisine Royale. Yeah.
I just downloaded it.
Perfect. Yeah. I think we will do some sessions.
What on the hell? There was wait, I got a huge spider walking on my wall right now. Holy shit. Okay, never mind, leave it.
Do you want to show the lovely viewers this humongous spider that you've got crawling on your wall?
He's behind the fireplace right now, so jeez. Sorry.
Well, I've written 2 things down for what I'm gonna do after this podcast.
Go on.
I'm gonna download The Tourist. That's something I'm gonna be playing later this week.
Yeah.
And we need to plan a session for Row Company and Cuisine Royale. So
yeah, I completely agree. Definitely need to play. Yes.
Yeah.
Boy, get that installed. It's such a chill game to play. You'll enjoy it.
There you go.
There we go.
It's not that big.
That's the beauty of Game Pass, really. It's so many different games that are on there, and someone gives a suggestion, just try it out, download it, see if it's something for you. If it's not, just throw it off, and if it is, good thing. You've spent 5 hours playing game someone else created in the world. You got you've experienced something new that you normally never would have downloaded or bought. So
And these devs love it, to be fair. Like, obviously, speaking of that, the dev for Song of Iron, he was exactly the same. He said, it's all about, I don't want to have too many things for you to do, and I don't want it to be too long. I want you to keep invested in this for even if it's 2-3 hours.
Yeah,
it's just 2-3 hours that you can just jump into, play from start to finish, and enjoy the story in one go without you having to drop the controller and things like that. And that's what we're kind of discussing. I think that even some indie games these days are like 20-30 hours long. You're like, that's a long time for an indie game. You just sometimes you just miss it with being able to turn on a game and being able to play it through all in one night, even if it's just a few hours long. That's what I miss. But you like the Tourist, because that's you can, maybe it's not in one night, but if you even on a weekend, you'll be able to box that game off in 5 hours.
Okay.
Start to finish, you'll enjoy that.
There we go.
Anything?
Downloading.
Yes, good lad. You'll enjoy it. Well, thank you very much anyway, guys, and Broyr, for coming along. You're welcome anytime as panel member if you're up for it.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome.
It'll be a busy time later on with my new house, but I'm more than eager if I'm in my new place and if I got my gaming room set up to show you what it's like. So if you'll have me, I'll be happy to come back.
Oh, 100%, yeah, 100%. Would love that. We would love that. Just add to the Dutch collective, to be fair.
Exactly. Yeah, the Dutch guy living in Belgium.
Sorry, I'm the Dutch guy living in the UK, and then you've got Shom, the English guy living in Scotland. And then we just need to get Patjeuh and Erwin living in different countries now.
Yeah, maybe in a few years it's Patjeuh living in Canada or something. I don't know.
Scatter all around the world. Happy days. Well, thanks again, Shom and Patjeuh, for coming along as well. We'll be back to, as always, full strength next week, where we have Sweet Mick, who for episode 5, of course, is the senior hardware program manager for Microsoft devices. You'll all know her. She did the Xbox, helped with the creation and promotion of the Xbox adaptive controller, as well as a lot of the controller things like design labs, etc. That was one of her babies. So awesome. She'll be on next week. So there's be plenty of good topics to cover off with her then. So I hope you all look forward to that. Yeah, WandrinDutch love gold. Yeah, all the Dutch people love gold, apparently. We all love gold. We're all crazy Dutch bastards as well. So we have to live with that now forever, thanks to Austin Powers. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming along. I look forward to seeing you all again next week. On Saturday, I will be bringing on Daniel Haythorne, otherwise known as the
Schnitzgemüse.
Yeah.
Ganstol.
The pin collector himself for the community spotlight. So I hope you all tune in for that. Otherwise, have a great evening, guys. Thanks very much for coming along, and everybody that came in the chat again today. And I'll see you all again next week.
See you next week, man.
Bye-bye.
See you guys. Bye now.
Cheers.